gentlemen, let me welcome you. This is World Gospel Impact Church, and we are coming to you live on your Friday afternoon, and we thank you for welcoming us onto your space. My name is Nompumelelo Myeni, and I am going to be hosting this wonderful talk show this evening. Now, before I get into it and tell you exactly what we're talking about, because we are indulging into a topic of ethics and morals this afternoon, and I have a wonderful panel today I'm just going to allow that they introduce themselves before we get right into this robust discussion today. I'm going to start on my far right. Kindly introduce yourself.
Hello everyone at home, my name is Mandy Sishi.
Hello, I am Nolwazi Ngubeni. Thank you very much for having me.
Wonderful.
Hi to all of viewers. Igama lami nguLindiwe Mncube.
Oh, happy to have you, Lindiwe. And we are talking today about ethics and morals. And the angle that we are taking this today is that really, a church, what I have seen and what I have found it to be, is that a church is a wonderful place where we build morals and we build people that are ethically correct. But the question really is there still room out there for people of such a caliber? Is there still a space? If we see the things that are happening and we see how things are happening in business and communities and careers, you seem as if you really have to lose a little bit of yourself in order to get ahead. But let me just throw it to my panel. Is there really still a room for people of that are ethically correct?
I mean, I think if we're asking the question, it means there's room, right? We are asking the question because you are searching for other like-minded individuals that you can hang around with, that you can identify with, that you can feel safe around. Because we're living in a world which now has sort of shifted so much into corruption that it's a norm. It's expected that you are going to be corrupt to a certain level. So the second we ask the question, or an individual asks the question, is because they know that they are not comfortable with whatever it is that society is expecting them to be like, and are seeking other people who are maybe morally correct for them to sort of cling onto so they can maintain their moral standards.
All right, so asking the question means there's still room. How do you feel about it?
I would say there's always a room for such people. They like to maneuver around with other people, forgetting who they are. But when you stand out to the good morals and ethics, they tend to like what you do, and they will copy or they will remember where they came from. Because when we go out there in the space, people just like want to be diluted or to be like other people. They want to I'm just looking for a word, sorry. They want to fit into certain groups. But if you stand out and be stylish like that and just know your morals and your ethically behaviors, there are some group that will look you from a distance and also copy what you do. So there is a huge gap, I'd say, we need to bridge.
All right. Do you concur?
Yeah, I agree with the ladies. I think Tina, in South Africa, we are a multicultural country. We are a beautiful rainbow nation. And I believe ukuthi ubuntu vele nje, it's not something esithola in our workspaces or at school, because sifundiswe emakhaya in the languages that we are, in the diverse society environment that we come from. So I think into eyenza ukuthi sizithole sesideviate from the good ethical, because you don't need education. Yakhumbula ukuthi we were raised by ogogo. They were not diplomatic, they were not scholars, they were not exposed into what we are exposed into.
Yes.
And where we're finding ourselves, Tina, if usuishia a generation yogogo neo mawethu uze kweyethu, I think pressure and other circumstances asenze siyayaz, we know it consciously in our minds what should not, what should be, and what. and whatnot. Siyazi ukuthi ikuphi okufanele sikwenze, but we tend to shy away from all of that because of many other reasons. Kungaba mhlampe, it's lack of unemployment, abantu babe desperate, abanye basebenzisa ama positions of power in the workspaces, abanye they emotionally not healing well. Mhlampe omunye asithi nje udila nama emotions akangekho right, as you see now ukukhulunywa kakhulu ngo GBV. It's not a matter of ukuthi usuke sifuna uku-exercise ama powers ukuthi azwe le relief ekuye within themselves. I think society yethu is under ilentozana, stress and pressure which comes from many different factors with society and ukuthi city fit in sometimes.
Yeah. All right.
But it's not what we don't know, and it's not something that can't be that's how we were raised. We were raised well.
Yeah. But having said that, I think you're raising a point of pressure. And I do believe that, somebody walks out from a church having been groomed correctly,
Yeah.
having been, their moral fiber having been worked at to a space where they really can stand for what is right and what is wrong. But your point being pressure that is out there. Obviously, when we go out there, the playing field is almost like level, unless or without except inside you or what is built in you. But the playing field in business, the playing field in your career, in community is level. But how do then, with so much of immorality and so much of corruption and so much of ethically things going wrong, how does this person who's morally correct that we've built here in church to stand for truth and stand for correct things, how do they maneuver in this hard space of all these negative things that are happening? Or just the mere thing that for you to go ahead, you've got to pay somebody. How do we maneuver in that space?
And I think it's a return to self, right? And that can be done in various ways. Because for you, in order to sort of break morality, it takes you getting lost within whatever it is that's happening, right? So it is a return to self. So constantly reconnecting with who you are, the teachings asekhaya, the teachings asenkonzweni.
Yes.
That can be done through daily meditation, daily prayer, connection with whoever your maker is, right?
Yeah.
Or your source, really, the source of who you are. So I think it really takes doing that daily. And I can't say that it's easy. You know, all of us as human beings, we have intuition.
I was just
Yeah.
about to
Right?
ask you that.
Yeah.
That how easy is it?
Yeah, it's not easy, right? It's really not easy. But inbuilt in all of us is
Yeah.
intuition.
Yeah.
There's this voice that tells you all the time whether something is right or wrong, right? That for you to be able to hear that voice allows you to be connected to self,
definitely.
right? Also, to silence the noise around you in order for it to be loud enough for you to hear it. So if there's too much clutter in your life, there's too much noise, there's too much influence going on in your life, then that word will be diluted and you'll no longer hear it.
So how easy is what is what we're coming to now, what is being said, that you can actually silence the noise, stand out, stand alone, be fashionably correct, like you put it before in your introduction. How easy is it to get to that point? Because, for instance, other pressure that is out there, I'm hungry. And that is pressure enough.
Yeah.
I am in
It's a
lack,
need.
and that is
Yes.
pressure enough. How easy is it to stand out?
There's always a need. People are hungry, people wanting to be out there to achieve things. And I would say, how much are you willing to lose for you to gain? So would you rather
That's a
lose
brilliant
yourself
question.
Yeah.
to gain wealth and riches? Or rather, would you wait till your time is coming? Because I feel like everybody has their own turn. So you must just wait on the Lord or whatever you believe in, because I know the world is diverse in religion and culture. So I would say just be grounded and believe in yourself and just believe what's right and what's true to yourself. because it's all about good morals and good ethics.
So the point that's coming out there is that calculate how much you are willing to lose in order to gain. But I want to ask to you that most of the time we have the issue of time, with the question of time,
Yeah.
to say, all my peers are getting married, or all my peers are now driving Bentleys, or whatever the cars that may be, and standing morally correct, but obviously in lack out there. How much are we willing to lose? How can we calculate the loss?
Yeah. I like the question, and I like the ladies. What my answer will be pulling from
Okay.
to what they just covered. Ukuthi it goes back to self. Kunalento le sasikhula esibuka kancane, and then mangabe sesiqede tertiary, and then masesilapha kwi-interview asikwazi ukuyiphendula. They say the panel is on the other side. Ibisithi, tell us about yourself. Azange sinacherishe this question from since we were teenagers. And then you bottle in a lot of things, and certain things zenzeka kuwe, and bese kwaba khona nalento le ethi kungena imfundo, kungena ini. Usufila sengazathi mangabe ukuthi uyabuya ekhaya uzokhuluma, angeke ba relate, ugogo ngeke relate.
Yeah.
Kanti mhlambe uzorelater ingoba uzoreactor or advise kube sekuyazwakala age gap ukuthi akekho kwisikhathi lesi technology.
Yes. Yeah.
What I mean by that is we have shy away, ngcono ngisebenzise lelo gama. We've shy away from us being unique in
Yeah.
ourselves, within us,
Okay.
inside of us, within our souls. Soul meaning mind, will, and emotions. I will always go back to mind, will, and emotions because we are well Gospel Impact Church.
Yeah.
We are born again. These discussions are all Christian based. Ebuthathweni bethu bokuthi sibathathu, it's a spirit man, it's a soul man, and it's a body. So it seems like in this world of pressure, sesifocuse kakhulu into the worldly, because the body is worldly conscious.
And seen.
I-pressure yonke yayisithi get taken away. Abangibuke ngi-right yet. The soul man is saying, I'm drowning, I need help.
Yeah.
And then abefundisi bayicover the spiritual.
Yes.
But now, here we go. Sifike esontweni, we talk a lot more and engage more about the spiritual. Right, that is okay. But kumbula phela ukuthi siphume emakhaya angafani.
Yeah.
Ama needs ethu awafani. Mina mhlambe ngilimele kakhulu ku spirit man. Mhlambe futhi sengaze ngawubulala uNembezo sisigadesho. Sengumuntu okholwayo, but ngikholwa kakhulu angibalansile no soul man wami. I can't make my mind I don't have I need to develop myself kule area ukuthi ngikwazi ukuchoose ama decisions right ukuze ngingathathi amalentozane
let's
quick
just
Of an
hold you
empty
there.
stomach,
Yeah, but let's just hold you on development.
Yes.
That part.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
part.
yeah.
Just pulling out from everything that you have said, in terms of, because I do believe that a person who's going to be able to stand morally correct out there
Yeah.
is somebody who has developed self
Yeah.
and self-consciousness around themselves, and who they are in answering the question, tell us about yourself. You know, having said that though, my question really is, does society still believe in moral correctness and right standing? As with God, if I can just insert that in, the fact
Yeah.
that good things still happen to
Yeah.
people who are morally correct.
Yeah.
Does society still believe in that?
I think they do. It's just that it's the waiting that's not, people are not are willing to adjust or adapt into. But they still believe that people, when they are immorally correct, things they come, it's just that the timing, God's timing and our timing is not equivalent or the same. So I would say they do, but they would rather quickly grab those things themselves than to wait on the Lord.
So how do we wait? I mean, honestly, how do we wait? My
Yeah.
peers have everything now. And I'm still good, in good standing. I'm in good standing with the Lord, in good standing with society, with my parents, and everybody else. How do I wait?
You know, I really don't think waiting can happen in the flesh.
Okay.
It really can't, because kunezinto eziningi oyibonayo when you are not connected to the spirit that lives in you, right? That could very quickly deter you from what is right. I think if uzolinda and you are making that conscious decision, ekulindeni, your daily support needs to be.
Come close to me just a little bit. I'm sorry to distract you.
It's
but
okay.
You can continue.
That's what was happening.
Yes.
I felt something
we can
funny.
Continue.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That waiting needs to be supported through prayer.
Yeah.
You have to. You have to. Like, there's really just no other way around it. You have to wait in the spirit. Your flesh,
Yeah.
who you are, is not enough.
Yeah.
You have to wait
I
in
actually have
prayer.
a question. For
Yeah.
somebody who doesn't believe in prayer or any form of stronghold,
Yeah.
what would you say to them?
Meditation is another form of prayer, right? Because prayer, it is a conversation, right, with whoever you believe your maker is, right? It's that conversation. So uthathe asithi mhlambe ke wena ke eyakho imaker, you don't believe ukuthi uGod. Asimthathe ke maybe uGod simbeke eceleni. Who is this source?
Yes.
Yakho.
Because you've got to have a source of
Yes,
power.
you've got to have a source of
Does
power.
it?
Yeah.
So that conversation, that connection, ubani kuwe, that is the conversation that
I
you
ask
need
this
to have.
because in the field where I work, people will be like, okay, I don't know how to pray, but I want to wait like you're waiting.
Yeah.
And then if you really don't have God in you or you don't believe in a strong man or a pillar or a tower, whoever you believe in, then how do you then tell
Yeah.
that person to wait?
But
Yeah.
we can debate on that one, as in like Christianity. Christianity is broad, not necessarily born again.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure lapho ukuthi it's a question of being born again, because culturally, Tina, like South Africa, we have the Ngunis, the Sutus, the Ndebeles, the
Spades, yeah.
vendors,
Yeah.
intombi nje yazigcina.
Yeah.
Yeah, understand?
Yeah.
So lo muntu lo othi yena, let's take the question of being born again out. Culturally wena ke
Yeah.
Yeah.
awuyizwanga leyo ukuthi intombazane iyayigcina.
Iyayigcina.
Yeah.
Uyayibona?
Yeah.
So I think Tina kuzofanele sikhumbuzane. It's well done to World Gospel Impact Church. We really are impacting and we really are opening these subjects.
Yeah.
Esingakwazi ukuthi sithi sometimes I think abanye abantu bayasaba to open up to other people because they've been victims for so long. So ebese ethi yazi
That's
I'm
another
giving
point.
up on myself.
Yeah.
Because a statement like that, or a person or a condition, efana naleyo, where people have become like risk takers, isuke give up self.
Yeah.
Yes.
Isuke sethi I have nothing
we
to
need to
lose
Yeah.
vele.
Yeah. Vele,
Anyway.
yeah.
Yeah, but that's why I
Uyakwazi
wanted to go
ukuride.
to development that you
Yes.
mentioned. She's saying you can only wait in prayer. You saying we've got to develop ourselves. How do we develop that strength of prayer? Perhaps I just need you to expand for us on there. I want to wait, as you said. I want to wait in prayer, as you're saying. How do I wait in prayer?
Develop. She says, I don't know how in prayer, I like her when she said that.
Yeah.
And then I made examples outside of
Yes.
her.
Yeah.
Example.
Yeah.
In prayer now, as a spiritual being, as a born again Christian, you open yourself up. Ukuthi Nkosi, khumbula ukuthi thina when we accept Christ, our spirit man is sealed with the Holy Spirit, angithi. And all the gifts that you have, ingoba wena awukaga wa explore uwabone ukuze wakhulise, but uzowathola in fellowship of that prayer that usisasho ngawo,
Okay.
uwakhulise. So it's taking your time again into knowing yourself now as a spirit man who is born again, uhambo noNkulunkulu, but it's not easy ukuthi uhambo noNkulunkulu say wounded in your soul.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Because the soul man of a person is a gate that
Yeah.
opens to izinto zikaNkulunkulu.
Yeah.
Ngeke uflourish, ngeke ube fruitful in your fullness
Or in your
of your
waiting.
soul. Ngeke ube fruitful in the gift of the spirit if ungaka ake qale kuyo uzibuke wena uzihlahlela uzibheke ukuthi
Most
Yeah.
definitely.
ikuphi la ngingekho right khona.
Yeah.
Then ube nephepha, ube honest to you, and then it's easy to walk the journey. That's where the gap is at development.
Yeah.
Qala uzazi kuqala wena ukuthi ngikuphi thina into yami
Know you.
uwedwa, a
Yeah.
one-on-one conversation singekho thina sonke.
Yeah, most definitely. Know you and know who you are. Perhaps we have been speaking this, and there is somebody that's out there that is still waiting and is standing. I want you to use just one line or two lines to encourage them to stand in the waiting of being morally correct. Just before we wrap up, honestly, one or two lines to encourage them.
I would say much is required to whom much is given. So just wait on the Lord and believe in yourself and whatsoever that you're praying for or are waiting for. It will come definitely in due time.
For me, whatever it is that you do, you need to be okay within your silence when no one else is around. If it's keeping you awake, if it's bugging you, you feel like your soul is wrestling with itself, then you know it's not the right thing. Walk away.
Definitely.
Honestly.
One or two lines.
One line is, or two, thank you. What I would like and what I love is, and the spring cleaning ngaphakathi in your soul manifest. Because if you are affected, that's where we get the results of bullying and everyone else because you're not okay. Be well and be confident with yourself within your space. And then vele ke uzovela unorish utglow, ushine, sikubone sonke. And we will also reap those, we'll also feel
Yes.
the impact of
Yeah.
that.
Most definitely. I want to thank you for standing with us or for being with us today and say we have concluded that yes, there is still room for people that are morally correct in our communities, in our businesses, and in every sphere of our lives. As the ladies have said, don't give up, stand your ground, and make sure that you are true within yourself. I really loved the part of being in your silence. Are you feeling okay with where you are or what you have done? Once again, this is World Gospel Impact Church. We want to thank you and ask you to like our page and follow us and share and subscribe into all our platforms. And we guarantee you that we will always work hard to bring you content that impacts your life in a positive way. Thank you.